Alright, hi everybody. So this video is going to be a review of last week's episode of Once Upon a Time. Episode 12, Taste in the Heights. So I'm going to do that review, and then I'm going to do the review of episode 13, Nightfall. I believe that's the name. Then I'm going to do a book review, Unhooked, and 2 haul videos. So let's go ahead, let's get started, and dive right in. This was the Tiana backstory episode. Finally, after I don't know how many episodes it's been since Tiana's last backstory. I think it was Greenbacks. I feel like this season, they made a big deal about Tiana, when they were promoting the show back, during Comic-Con and stuff. And they haven't used her at all. Like, I'm pretty sure there's been at least, 5 episodes where she's had like one scene or wasn't even in the episode at all. And it's like, okay, why make a big deal about having Tiana on the show if you're not really gonna use her? I think they got a great actress to play her, so I'm like, do more with Tiana. Come on, Princess and the Frog is a great, movie with great characters in it, and use that more. I think, like in my opinion, Dr. Facilier should have been the main villain instead of Mother Gothel, because I think I like that actor better. To me, I think he really fits the character very well, and I would like to see more of him than the other lady. Just saying. But I did enjoy the backstory this time. We get introduced to Naveen, finally. Let's see. Naveen and Tiana are actually one of my favorite Disney couples, after like Rapunzel and Flynn Rider and Jasmine and Aladdin. And so I'm really, really happy that they're keeping them together in the show. Because I think they're just great together. I love it. Naveen in this version, at least, is very different from the movie version. The movie version is very carefree, very into jazz. He's a musician. He kind of likes to, goof off and fool around. Or, he doesn't take his princely role seriously. In this version, he's very much like the protector. He cares, about his kingdom. He wants to do a good job. He actually is out there looking for this I believe it was a crocodile, alligator, excuse me. It's alright, people get those two confused all the time. The alligator, I think it's supposed to be Louis, or Louis, I mean. I didn't like that though. I'm like, he should, be holding a trumpet, and that's what happens when you don't have it set in the 1920s, right? You can't use jazz. There's a bug flying around me, gross. But anyways, he's very different from the cartoon version. The actor was pretty good though, I think him and Tiana had more chemistry in the Hyperion Heights scenes than they did in the past, in the flashbacks in the Enchanted Forest. I don't know if it's just because the writing had them flirting a bit more then or something. That's just kind of how I felt. And I think they connected more over, the bond of cuisine and cooking and things like that. Whereas, I feel like, Tiana had a very, was very distrustful of Naveen in the flashbacks, it looked like. That's how I'm going with. I liked the Hyperion Heights stuff just because I feel like Sabine is more like the Tiana in the movie, and I like her more. Whereas Tiana in the Enchanted Forest is more, I guess, more like the fairy tale version. I mean, I know Tiana doesn't have one because they made her up for Princess and the Frog, but Princess and the Frog is based on the Frog Prince. So I feel like she's supposed to be more like that princess, I want to say, than, Tiana from Princess and the Frog. That's just my opinion, or what I'm looking at. Go away, bug. But I did enjoy the Princess and the Frog or Tiana storylines. I thought it was, about time to see her, and I just wish they'd do more. Again, I really love Dr. Facilier. I want more of him. I think we're getting more of him because he's gonna have a romance with Regina. I would like to see him more as the main villain, though. Like, instead of having Gothel, I think it should have been him. I think it would have been cool to have, like, the voodoo magic instead of, like, the witch magic. Because we've had that kind of before with, Zelena and Cora and those characters, because that's kind of their magic, I feel like. I think voodoo magic would have been really cool to show. It's different and unique. But I really enjoyed his scenes, although his quest for the necklace was kind of dumb. Like, that's what he wanted, a necklace from the alligator. That was dumb. It wasn't very evil or anything like that. It was silly. And as we learn, he has a backstory with Regina. Somehow, I don't know how. I feel like we've seen a lot of Regina's backstory. I know a lot of people like her, but we have seen a lot of her backstory. I pretty much think we covered it all. I mean, honestly, there's nothing else to see for her. I think, like characters like Rumpelstiltskin and Captain Hook, who have been around for, 300 years, I think they have a lot more to tell. And then also, I would have liked more backstory with Tiana, and how did Dr. Facilier learn voodoo magic? How about his backstory? I want, new character backstory. I have a feeling that we're gonna get, how they met and when she was the evil queen and things like that. So I'm just like, oh, okay. And then, of course, they're doing a romance with her and him. I'm not complaining about it. I think if they write it well enough, it'll be okay. I think it might be interesting to see two villains, get together in that way. And normally they team up, to try and get something done. It'd be interesting to see something more romantic between two villains. I guess we'll have to wait and see how it goes. I feel like it's more of, Regina and Facilier kind of trying to get something out of each other, it looks like. Because I don't know, I don't think I don't think there's genuinely feelings of love. That's just my opinion. The Henry and Jacinda storyline I felt was unnecessary to have in this episode. It was boring. I guess it's their nod to the Parent Trap. You know how in the Parent Trap, the twins are trying to make their parents fall in love with each other. That's kind of what Lucy's doing. It was boring. Honestly, Jacinda and Henry really don't have chemistry to me. That's just I'm probably not the only one that feels like that. I know I'm not. It was boring and unnecessary, and I felt like we could have gotten more from the Princess and the Frog characters in their scenes instead, and I think that would have been better. I know people might be like, oh, they should have cut like the Hook and Rumple storyline. I disagree, because in the last episode we saw someone murder somebody, and it's kind of, following through with that instead of waiting like 3 episodes down. Oh, hey, remember when we murdered that person? Someone's killing off witches. Like, wait, what? It's, I think, a really good way to keep that story going as well, and kind of make sure they're tying up, loose ends like that. Whereas, like, Jacinda and Henry, we know they get together, and it they're boring. Sorry. I feel like they could have been cut out. But like I said, the Hook and Weaver, I'm so glad, like, Colin O'Donoghue and Robert Carlyle are doing scenes together more this season. I think they're great together in scenes. I wish, they had Rumple and Hook reconcile somehow earlier. I know it would have been hard, but I think when they actually work together, it's fantastic. I love it. I want those two to get, a movie or something together where they're, or something, I don't know. I hope that happens in the future. make it happen universe. I don't know. I think they're great actors, and I want to see more of them doing things together because they're great together. But I really enjoyed their scenes. We of course got our third version of the Blind Witch, I believe. She didn't really do much other than was one of the victims, of course, and is part of the coven, which makes sense. I don't know if we're gonna get more about her. I hope not, honestly, because I feel like I've seen the Blind Witch. Emma Caulfield played her great. Don't really need to see a backstory for Blind Witch number 3. That's just me. But overall, this episode was pretty good. I think the Facilier Regina romance, I don't think it's gonna be a big thing. I don't think they're gonna be true love or anything. I just think they're using each other. That's just my opinion from when I'm watching the show. And I liked Tiana and Naveen together. I hope we get to see more of their relationship, and hopefully maybe they get more of the focus instead of Henry and Jacinda. And maybe I hope we find out who's killing all these witches. So I'll see you in my review for Nightfall. Bye.